The SIMDO286 activation. Solana blocks just got 66% larger overnight, hitting a new capacity limit of 100 million compute units per block. This is the activation of SIMDO286, an upgrade that fundamentally shifts the network's throughput ceiling without altering a single line of application code. But if you look at the actual architecture for this update, the most important design choice is not the number that went up. It is the specific limit they deliberately locked in place. The 12 million unit cap. Compute units are the fuel budget required to process transactions. Raising the block limit to 100 million means the network can finalize significantly more total work every 400 milliseconds. But the core developers left the maximum writable account limit strictly capped at 12 million units. This distinction dictates how block space is utilized. If a single decentralized exchange pool is congested during a volatile trading event, it cannot consume more than 12% of the new block space. It is the equivalent of adding lanes to a highway without raising the speed limit for any individual car. The extra 40 million units of capacity are strictly reserved for parallel activity across entirely different smart contracts. But forcing validators to process wider parallel lanes introduces a physical constraint: the validator hardware tradeoff. Every compute unit increase places a heavier execution burden on the physical machines running the network. Solana validators still have the same 400 millisecond window to process, validate, and broadcast these larger blocks. Pushing the cap to 100 million units means lower-tier validator hardware will face higher execution times, narrowing their margin for error. If a machine cannot process the block fast enough, it risks missing votes or falling out of consensus. Jito Labs originally authored this upgrade over a year ago, but the network delayed implementation until client software was optimized enough to handle the load. Now that it is live, the baseline hardware requirements to competitively run a node are functionally higher, forcing a direct trade-off between pure network throughput and hardware accessibility. And this hardware tension points to a broader structural strategy for the protocol. The core engineering philosophy. The activation of SIMDO286 reveals exactly how Solana plans to scale going forward. By pushing the total block limit to 100 million units while permanently pinning the single account cap at 12 million, the protocol is forcing developers into horizontal scaling. You cannot build a massive, monolithic smart contract and expect brute force network upgrades to make it faster. Instead, you have to split your application state across multiple independent accounts to access the new parallel block space. Meanwhile, the network is deliberately accepting the hardware strain on validators as a necessary cost of doing business. The engineering wager here is that silicon gets cheaper faster than state congestion kills usability. The immediate metric to track now is not transaction volume, but validator delinquency rates over the next 10 epochs. If the node network absorbs this 66% compute jump without a spike in missed slots, it proves the physical hardware can handle the wider lanes. If not, the protocol will have found its hardware ceiling for this cycle. Subscribe for more.